Okay guys, welcome to the video. Massive news reported by Gamatsu on the 30th of November. Tencent has officially acquired a majority stake in Kuro Games. The company Hero has sold their shares, purchasing 37% of the shares in Kuro Games from Hero Entertainment, which has took now Tencent up to owning 51% of Kuro Games. So they are a majority shareholder now within the company. What does this mean? Okay, let's try and discuss it without getting too freaked out and making some massive assumptions, because we don't quite know yet. This just means now that potentially Kuro, Wuthering Waves, PGR, and any games that they develop has the massive backing of one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world, one of the biggest companies in game development, and just one of the biggest companies in general. So we'll go over to Nashiro's Twitter here and a message from Kuro. Hello everyone. First, I would like to share a recent update. Recently, a shareholding transaction was completed between our two external shareholders, Tencent and Hero Entertainment. After the transaction, Hero Entertainment no longer holds shares in Kuro, leaving Tencent as Kuro's sole external shareholder. Don't know why they've wanted to bail out on that. Who knows? Who knows? There could be the arguments of some of the doomsayers talking about end of service, or potentially Tencent have saw the potential in a developer like Kuro and have decided to potentially maybe they've paid overpriced prices for the actual share of the company. We just don't know. So, since mid-2018, Hero Entertainment has provided significant support and assistance at crucial moments in Kuro's development. Tencent has also made substantial investments at key points. Starting in early 2023, throughout our collaboration, they have shown immense support for Kuro's strategies, making them exceptional shareholders for us. As an important change in this transaction, Tencent's shareholding in Kuro will increase to approximately 51.4%, surpassing the team's shareholding. However, from the very beginning, this transaction came with a key guarantee from Tencent: Kuro's independent operational strategy will not change. Furthermore, Tencent will use Riot Games and Supercell as models for its future collaboration with us. That itself sounds like good news to me. Riot Games have kind of been left to do their thing, and Supercell as well. Tencent are there just basically cashing checks and leaving them to do what they're doing. Basically, they're showing trust to these companies. Now, does that mean that it'll stay like that? No. Obviously, if the bottom line isn't being made, Tencent are going to step in and, they're going to want to make their shares profitable at the end of the day, aren't they? They're going to want to do something with the investment they've made. So this is a double-edged sword of the fact that lots of money is now potentially at hand for Kuro in regards to more investment. But it also comes with a caveat now that they are the minority shareholders within Kuro itself, and obviously the IP that comes along with that. In recent months, Tencent has proactively engaged in extensive communication with us, and we have reached agreements on critical issues. Combined with our past cooperative experience with Tencent, we firmly believe that this external shareholding adjustment will provide Kuro with more stable external environment, further benefiting our future-long independent operational strategies. Over the past decade, our original intention in creating games has never wavered, and it will remain the same for the next 10 years. We will continue to love our players, love our games, and love our team. General Office. Hashtag punishing Grey Raven. Hashtag punishing... hashtag Wuthering Waves. Sorry, my bad. So, there's a few things that we could maybe try to assume from this. Maybe things weren't going so well and the investment from Tencent was needed. Tencent, at the same time, though, are not a company that's just going to be throwing good money after bad, if that makes sense, or bad money after good. So we've got to look at it from the fact of, okay, right, Tencent are now the major shareholders in Wuthering Waves, but at the same time, we've seen how they've kind of done things before, so there's that there. But I was also looking into, because I did see on another show saying absolute control in regards to law within China is a little bit different, but I don't know how exactly true this is. So I went and had a little look for this, So, shareholders with a shareholding ratio of up to 67% have absolute control of the company and the right to decide at the shareholders' general meeting level on major corporate matters such as amending articles, association registered capital increases or decreases, and company mergers, divisions, and dissolutions. So, I'm not 100%, obviously, I've never ran a business, I've never been involved in this sort of level of thing. It says up to 67% though. Whereas Norrisho saying, unless otherwise stipulated in the company's articles of association, a shareholder must own 67% of the company shares to have the most complete control. Therefore, we refer to 67% as absolute control. Owning 51% of the shares does not grant absolute authority or ability to dominate within the company. According to the company law, a shareholder's voting rights, even with less than 50% ownership, can still be significant influence in shareholder meetings. And I think 34% basically gives you veto power. So, looking at this, Kuro will have veto power in ability to veto decisions within discussions and meetings and decisions going forward with Wuthering Waves and Punishing Grey Raven. But it says up to 67%. So I'm assuming if it's like in the West, 50% is giving you general control. You are the majority shareholder. Basically, your decisions are going to dictate what goes forward, but it's not going to give you that absolute control in being able to just do as you will. Kuro are going to have that ability to veto things, is what I'm gaining from this. So they're going to be able to potentially, put a stop to things that might not necessarily be good for us as players, as a consumer. But this is still one of those things. It's very interesting. A lot can be taken from this. I think the Doomsayers will say, man, it shows that Kuro were on the edge of end of service for the games and that they needed Daddy Tencent to come in and basically start throwing dollar bills at them. Or it could mean that Tencent have saw the potential in a developer that's making great content, that doesn't have the ability to market itself on a AAA level on this global scale. A company like Tencent owning a majority of the shares is going to allow that ability and probably push, I would say, Tencent to want to maybe market the company and the game itself a little bit better. So it's hard to say. We just don't know, do we? But we do know that Tencent are the majority shareholders now in Kuro. This is obviously going to affect things going forward. Hopefully, as we see, they deal with it like they did with Riot Games and Supercell and allow Kuro to stay independent in regards to the game development side. If they're smart, they'll do that, They know games, let them make the games, and they'll be in the background basically just trying to judge everything up a little bit. The worry is potentially that affecting the free-to-play aspects of the game, banners, all this sort of stuff going forward. Will we see Kuro shift to a potential more Hoyo-like system? Hopefully not. And just because Tencent have bought into the company doesn't mean that's the case. But I'm just talking worst case scenarios here. We could see that happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But hey, this is massive news for anybody who's in the gacha space. Anybody who likes Wuthering Waves, is a fan of Kuro, Punishing Grey Raven. This is huge. This is taking Kuro from this pretty small studio out on the periphery of the gacha space to being made majority owned. I can't even talk. It's late. It's like 1 o'clock. Majority owned by one of the biggest companies in the world, and potentially having access to a lot more funding in regards to the game, or at least a lot more stability, at least, So I guess we'll have to see. We will have to see. This has happened in the last few days. It's done. It's dusted. Tencent are the majority shareholders within Kuro Games. It's a new dawn, and I guess we'll just see how things go forward. 2.0 is on the horizon. Massive updates for the game. PlayStation 5 launch. This could be huge for Kuro, and we might potentially, see other titles coming from them now, because they're gonna have the resources, access to the resources to be able to make this happen. I just basically wanted to bring this to you guys because, it's pretty big, man. It's pretty big. I've seen a few other YouTubers reporting on it as well, and I just thought I'd let you guys know about it, actually. I don't want to try and get into the specifics too much and pretend I know exactly what I'm talking about, because all the YouTube business guys are going to come out now and pretend they know what they're talking about, and they won't know shit. All we know is that Tencent own the majority of Kuro now. For better or for worse, it is what it is. And I guess we'll see what that means for us and the games going forward. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. And if you did enjoy the video, drop a like on it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheerio.